Climate manipulation is a reality. The line that's being fed to the people that is the cause of this situation that we're having here is climate change and global warming. This is what is being pushed by the government and the media. But such is not the case, folks. The reality is that this situation in Australia has been deliberately manufactured by government. What's going on, folks, is they've deliberately driven the country out. This has all been done deliberately. Scott Morrison rejecting calls for more assistance to firefighters. So, we've got all sorts of stuff going on here, folks, which is working against us. And it's important that people see it, and it's important that people understand how we're being played here. Evacuating up to 90 towns if they run out of water. They're running out of water because the government has sold the water. That's the problem, folks. Bringing in the Defence Force to help battle climate change. And they're talking about moving people out of towns. So you can see what's going on here, folks. They're going to bring in the Australian Federal Police to evacuate people from dangerous areas that may be prone to fire. The only terror that you see, it all comes from the police.
Watch this.
Police are now going to get high-powered guns in drive to sweep terror off the streets. See, what they're doing with these fires now is they're driving everybody out of the country, and they're going to bring in the Defence Force to occupy those areas to stop people returning to their homes. Agenda 21, folks. And soon, even if you've got a place like where I live here now, it'll be too far out of town. You're in a fire-prone area. The people who own this property won't be able to afford the insurance on their house that will be required to live here. And if they create a hard time about it, all the Australian Federal Police will simply remove them as being a place that's being a hazard to their health due to climate change, and the military will occupy the area and keep people from returning to their homes. Local councils in Australia all receive their orders from the Municipality Association, which receives its orders directly from the United Nations. This is Agenda 21. That's what's going on here, folks. This is planned. They want to burn the place out, remove it of our water and make it impossible to live in these areas and push us all into the city. And this drought is being manufactured. This is what they're planning, folks, and they're showing the world how the action's going to be run, and this is what you can expect to see in most of your countries. They need an event. They need an event to push it to the world to show what happens when you ignore climate change. So they've deliberately taken the water out of this country. They've deliberately withheld the water from the people. They've deliberately dried the country out. But as I said, we could release this water. We could reclaim control of this situation if the people just stood up and said enough is enough. And we don't even need any violent revolution. We just have to stop complying with this system, stop going on with it, down tools, stop going to work and paying your taxes and doing all this stuff, stop supporting the criminal racketeering that is the government system, folks. It's time to snap out of the slumber and wake up, because we have a real situation here.
Watch this.
Because they're not your friends, they're not even your government, they're just a bunch of criminals.